It's War Dragon time. RPW here with another video, except today's video is a special one because it's Friday, which means we're doing a War Dragon review video. Now today's review is going to be on the Kingdom Wars. So let's time warp back into my Kingdom Wars event guide and go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. And yes, this might sting a bit, but let's rip it like a band-aid and get this video started. Starting with the good things about this event, one of the biggest aspects about this event that I found to be really fantastic was the targeting. The being able to go through and actually target your specific territories that you wanted your team to really work on really helped our team specifically. So as long as your teammates understand what a target is, this was a fantastic add-in into this particular event. I mean, granted, there are targets on others, but I just really thought that this design with the targeting and the team plan was fantastic. The second thing that I want to say that I thought was really great about this event was the idea of the capitals. To have a place that would be your home turf that nobody could take. So it's not like you got completely drawn off the map. That was one great aspect I felt about this event as well. Now, I have never played Atlas before, but I have watched some videos and kind of gotten, an idea of what Atlas is about. So I'd say the third great thing about this event is it seems to be along the lines of Atlas. You're taking territory from other people, you've got your territory that can't be taken, and to me, this is a great way to prepare all of the leagues, whether you're clear down in, silver, or you're just about to go into Atlas up in the platinum leagues. I feel like this was a great way to prepare everyone for that concept. I know that there's a lot more to Atlas, but that this really does help prepare everyone for the concept that is, utilized within Atlas. Now, of course, another thing I really want to point out that I thought was wonderful was the clean lined, aspects of this. The fact that there wasn't all these colors, that it was definite when able to see how big you were growing versus the other teams. And it really did show the impact, like they said it would, that your team could or could not do. So that was a really great thing. I give kudos to whoever helped develop this, this event, because going into the battle tab and being able to zoom in and zoom out and move around the map was very fun for me personally. So that is a definite awesome thing for me. I just think the event itself was beautiful. Now let's go over the bad. This is the things that I see the most complaints on between the forums and in LC and so forth. And that was the capital placement. A lot of people felt that certain teams had an advantage. So depending on what team we're talking about would depend on what their complaint was about. So our capital was in a center zone. It wasn't the center of the map, but it was a center of a territory area where we would have players above us, to the left of us, to the right of us, and below us that could easily work in onto our territories. So some teams felt that this was an advantage and some teams felt it was a disadvantage. Now, it is an advantage because then your team is able to go north, west, east, and south to utilize your ability to go out and take territory. However, it is a disadvantage in the sense that you have more teams coming after your land more easily. Like they're in a more direct targeting zone for your territory. Now, that doesn't mean that something on the, borderline isn't more advantaged or less advantaged. So let's go over why that's the case. Because it's just the opposite. It's that simple. Yes, they have less directions they can go with their property or their territory, but they have less teams coming at them. However, on the smaller team we have, you'll notice that this capital here to the right is substantially closer to Monument 1 than any of the other teams. I actually went through and they're only one, hexagon from this specific, item. I mean, they're very, very close to it. So in one sense, they have an advantage, a very big advantage over the rest of the team. They're the same distance from the territory 2, but yet they're closer to that territory 1 than any other team. So there are some advantages and disadvantages. I think we should give them a chance. This was our first run at this event, and there could have been something that went wrong in the numbers on something like that. So I think we should be a little careful getting ticked off about an event that just began, because this is, this is a learning process for everyone, especially when it comes to this event. All right, so with that being said, another bad thing about this particular event to me was this leaderboard menu. I don't know what this the deal was with this, but it really got on my nerves the way it would. Every time you go in, it just, by default, it pops up. And in every other PvP event, I'm used to the info bar being down, not this leaderboard bar coming over. So for me, this was very annoying to have to, every time I go in here, click on the thing above it and figure out how many energies I have. I specifically wish this was the other way around, that the info was the default and then you had to bring out the leaderboard. Not a huge deal, not a huge bust, but to me that was one of the bad aspects of this event. And then a third thing that I felt was bad about this event was Black Bloods. I felt that the Black Bloods members, the ones that you could attack, was not balanced properly. If, for example, I could take a low level 180 on the Black Bloods, that I don't remember what the name was, Grog or something, I don't remember. And it was quite easy, and I would get the same amount of points that if I was able to take the other top level 180, and I think there was like 4 total. So with that being said, it was like, okay, so why would I even waste my stronger dragon on the one at the top if I can just keep hitting this bottom one and get the same amount of points? I really think that needs to be changed and balanced a tad. So other things that were bad would probably have to be that, and I think a lot of it was user error, is that people didn't understand certain aspects of the game and of the event and how to strategize for it. So again, I think this is a learning process, and some people were just in a learning curve. But outside of that, I think it was little things. Like, for example, it was annoying that you would accidentally untarget or target something. Outside of that, that's pretty much all the bad, but there are some ugly I still want to go over. So when it comes to the ugly, this is the area that everybody wants to hear. This is the area where everyone wants to hear what the rant is about, what upsets somebody, and whatever. Okay, guys, first of all, I want everyone to know, first and foremost, I am a positive person. So I can't find a lot of negatives in anything. That's not the way I roll. I like to think positively. But there were some things in this event that I really want to go over that I agree are ugly, but I want to explain to you that it's not a deal breaker. There are ways around things, and we're going to go over that as well. Because again, I'm a positive person, and I feel there should always be a positive spin to everything. So with that being said, let's scroll on down here. I would have to say the biggest complaint I hear of is the mega coins. Now, what I'd love to know is how many of those complainers use the mega coins themselves. That's what I'd like to know. I get it. There's a lot of people out there that's like, well, that team, they're cheating because they've got all this money and they're using mega coins, blah, 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 blah. Look, guys, number one, it's just a game. It's just a game. And I get it. I get you all are upset. You think PG's all about money and blah, blah, blah. I get it, okay? But it is just a game. And if you aren't willing to put forth the money to go into, the game to an extreme mode, then that's your choice. Just like it's the other player's choice to put in that extra money. And that's if they're spending the money. Some people I know on my team, they go out during the chest phase and they hunt like crazy. Okay? I know people that'll come back and they'll have hundreds of bronze chests waiting on them because they've really worked their butts off. And I know other players on my team, for example, that only spend their rubies on gold chests during PvPs only. Okay? With that being said, it doesn't mean that there's a bunch of rich people out there using their mega coins. Some people are just very wise and love using these to win. So when it comes to the mega attacks, I get your point. However, it's not a deal breaker. Whenever somebody mega coins your stuff, it's because they feel that they have the ability to take your monument. But if you build a nice buffer around that monument in this event, for example, then their mega coin's not going to do them much. They're not going to be able to take you out. You're not going to be able to take your monument on time. So let's say they take the third space from it, and you tell that they're working in. They're going to the second space, and they're working their way up. They're probably planning to make a coin once they get right up against that monument. That's why you stop them at the beginning. You don't fight them right there at the edge. You go back where they first began attacking you, and you take that space. You only need 10,000 points. They're needing 10,000 for that specific territory to even be able to start attacking your monument, and then another 30,000. So that's giving you the ability to really take advantage and cut them off where they are standing. And then you can work your way back and take it from them, all of it. That's what we did. So we had players that were trying to mega coin us, but we were very smart in our strategy. You have to be on a team that's willing to work on a strategy. You're sitting here saying that there's other teams spending money, but not all teams are doing that. Some teams are just very good with their strategies. So that's one thing. Now, when it comes to these mega coins, everybody thinks that this is PG's way of making money. And it may be, guys, it might be. But it is a business, okay? They're going to try to make money. That's the reality of things. When you go to Walmart, they put up signs. Why do they put up signs? To advertise, right? To make money. They want you to buy their milk. They want you to buy this. That is what they're doing. So when it comes to that, I personally don't care. I don't use mega coins. And we still do really well in the events. So you don't have to be a mega coin fanatic to do well in these events. But I do get it. I really do. The mega coins do suck because other teams can take your placement from you. But let's really quickly go over team placement. Now, these 3 images are from the same event as we were going along. I took screenshots so I could show you. Look, if you'll notice, we were in the gold during this time, and in first place, you were going to get 250 sigils, and then second is 200, and then of course third is 175, and it continues to drop. Now, if you'll notice, in third place through fifth place, it is the same, and it's always the people that gets taken from the first down to second or third or whatever. Now, I always tell my team, it's not a big deal. So what? We took second place. If we can't take first, it's 50 less sigils, 50 less tokens. I mean, if you were being offered 50 more tokens to spend all your resources, would you be willing to do that? So if you lost a specific spot in team ranking because people were mega coining you and then you ended up only taking second or third or whatever, just remember it's not much less than where you were. I think that really helps me out mentally. When it comes to the mega coin in this particular event, I don't think it made such a huge difference like if I was playing the fight pits. The fight pits, man, it can truly suck whenever you've worked really, really hard, you gain all these points, and then all of a sudden another team is just like mega coining you. Bam, 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 bam. That is when it sucks. But this particular event had no rounds, okay? So if someone mega coins you and they used up all their resources, how much are they going to have towards the end? You see what I'm saying? There's always the ability to fight that back. So the next time that price resets, you're going to have the ability to take that back, and they may not have much left. So realistically, because you've done super attacks, you were able to get more points on them. So you just really have to think about that aspect. All right, so we've covered down on the mega coins. What's another ugly aspect of this game? Well, the next thing I hear a lot of is bullying. People feel that other teams are bullying them into these events. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to chuckle, but it's funny to me because, I mean, the whole point in this game is to win. To take somebody else's property or territory and win the game. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? They're not bullying you because they don't like you specifically or personally. They want to win too. Everyone wants to win. You don't have teams out there that are called, we want to lose just for fun. And it's not called Kingdom, or it's not called Friend Dragons. It's called War Dragons. So just remember that and don't take, it so personally and see these people as bullies. So that is one aspect. People feel that you are bullying. Now, the only time that I see this as a true issue is there are some tricksters out there, and I'll be honest with you, they are out there, and they are the ones that want to form alliances with you, then turn around and, turn on you. I have never formed an alliance with anybody during an event, and the reason is because, guys, I can't expect some other team to be the reason we win. I want us to be the sole reason. And as for the allies during events, again, so a team calls you or, emails you, hey, we should ally, and then we can kind of go up against these people or, not target each other and help each other out a little bit. Well, what happens when you're both on top? You're all that's left. Are you going to let them stay on top just because they won? Or just because they were in your ally? I'm telling you, allies don't work during events. I get it, they have them in Atlas. I get it, they have it for wars. But in the case of an event, allies are not going to work. So truly, if you accept one, you're the one putting yourself in that situation. And then you might face bullying. Outside of that, I don't see this as bullying. I don't see where one team going after yours is a bullying situation. You just might be the easier target. And that's the reality of life. Everything in life is like this. You look at animals out there. The weak don't survive. And that's the truth. In wars, the weak don't survive. Even when you go into the military. I was watching this guy the other day that was doing a talk about his time in, I think it was the Naval SEALs. And he was saying that whenever he went through boot camp, they really weed out the weakest. So the reason they put them through so much strenuous training is because they want the strongest and brightest mentally and physically to be in the Navy SEALs. They can't have somebody that's a weak link. So when you have a weak link or you're a weak, team, other teams are going to draw in on that. Why would they go after somebody that's harder than them? So you just have to understand that is the strategy that people are utilizing. It's not necessarily bullying. So try not to take it personal, guys. It's just a game. And if you're finding yourself where other teams are just like kicking your butt and you can't keep up, you're always in 15th place or you're always in 20th place and you just can't seem to, do well in the events, then either A, you need to really seriously think about who's on your team and change that up, or B, you're in the wrong league. That's one of the reasons we've grown so slowly in our team. I knew we weren't ready for platinum. Well, granted, okay, yeah, we could maybe win a war, but how are we going to do in the events? Winning those events and being in the top 5 is what brings your team pride. It's what makes them excited and gets them going. So if you're up in platinum and most of your team isn't really partaking and you have a lot of small level players, maybe you're in the wrong league, period. So, that's something that is a personal choice and you really got to look at that. Wait a minute, why are we always in 20th place? Well, probably because only 20 of us put points on the board. Or maybe because we're too small and we can't go up against anybody in PvPs up here. So you've got to really put yourself in the right league. Okay, so the third ugly. The third ugly is my own personal ugly. It's not something I've heard anybody else complain about. This is my personal complaint, which is, when they discussed this event before they announced it and really told us what it was about, they explained that the King of the Hill was leaving. And that when the King of the Hill was leaving, they were going to be replacing it with a similar event. Now, I assumed that meant there would be a raid function or that there would be at least the bonus bar. However, in this event, there's neither. And that really, really sucks because I really looked forward to the King of the Hill because of that raid feature. You spend so many of your resources when going in with your heal potions, trying to take, these levels and, get these points. And then if you're higher level on your team, you tend to give up a lot of heal potions to help those on your team as well. So it was really going to be a nice thing to be able to push raid. And being that that's gone, I really think that sucks. So I really hope, and I really hope that in the next few months they come up with an event that does include that feature, because we need one of these PvPs to be a break on our heal potions. To me, that is probably the ugliest one. Now, when it comes to that, a lot of people think that they don't have those there because, well, hey, they can't make any money off of it or blah, blah, blah. People still spend money. People are still buying stuff even during that event. They want the extra barricades, or they want the extra energies, or they want, you know, whatever. They want the rubies so they can get more stuff. So I don't think that has anything to do with why they do or don't have that feature. However, I really don't know. I don't know how that works, if that is why. I think we need to give them a chance, and maybe they will come out with something soon. Now, that is, like I said, the only thing that I felt was ugly about it is I was really hoping to have a similar event as they claimed. But I think that this is something that we have to get used to. If you like this game, get used to the changes because they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, this game is awesome. There are other games out there that I've heard whenever I'm on League Chat or talking to somebody else where, hey, yeah, I used to play this game over here and you couldn't nearly get the cool stuff that you can in this event. You know, War Dragons really does try. I've played other games and they either A, fall short when it comes to the graphics side of it, or your ability to be able to do things, or it's just one of those things where you push a button, you don't actually take your dragon out to fly. You know, there are games out there like that. And then there are games out there that want a lot of money. That's all they're about. I remember literally back whenever I played Candy Crush when they first came out, there were certain levels that I would swear to you that they made virtually impossible to win, you know, to beat. And I remember getting so frustrated because I was like, all they want me to do is buy packs. Because without me buying that, I'm not going to be able to pass this. So I would delete the freaking game completely. And then I bring it back up a couple months later because I like the game. And all of a sudden I could beat it, like they changed it. So, yeah. And then eventually, I think they realized they were losing so many of their players because it was very, you know, much around the idea of spending money to be able to pass things, that they started adding the aspects of being able to earn more stuff or whatever. So, realistically, every single game is going to try to make money. They're not going to develop these games for nothing. They're not volunteers. You know, if you go play a free game on an app, trust me, they're getting money from you whether you realize it or not. They're advertising to you. They're gathering information on you. Something. Now, that is my good, bad, and the ugly on this particular event. I know that it probably frustrates you that I'm not all angry and upset and ranting away, so I'm probably going to get a few dislikes. That is fine. I don't care. But if you do give me a dislike, tell me why. You know, put it down in the description below why you disagreed or whatever. Now, I'm not going to get into an argument with somebody on why I think they're right or they're wrong or blah, 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 blah. But, you know, this is a free forum for you to post whatever you want. Go ahead and comment below. Now, also, if this helped you out in making you feel more positive about things and not so negative, and you are excited for an upcoming video on showing you how you can beat the Mega Coin, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and comment below. Some of you guys might have your own little tips and tricks that can help beat other teams that are big spenders. If you had any specific, situation where you were actually bullied by another team, I would love to see that in the comment section below as well. Because, some of these things that I've seen complaints on, I'm only just seeing them. I'm not having the issue. Our team doesn't get bullied. I mean, we had 3 people attacking us at once, but we still managed to keep them off and take 2nd place in that event. Or was it 3rd? I can't even remember. But we did really well. So if you had that issue, like I said, be sure to put that in the comment section below, because I'm not seeing it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And outside of that, when it comes to mega coins and stuff, maybe you have a different experience or different story that comes from a different league that I've not been a part of. You can put that in the comment section below as well. However, guys, I just want to remind you, be positive, because this game, as Air Force says, don't let it play you. The moment you let this game make you angry, you're wasting your time. So be positive, enjoy it, and make it a fun experience for you and on your day. Alright guys, that is it for today. Don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and sign up for notifications. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we will have our first giveaway. Happy hunting!